Hi, I'm Charleigh Steelman, and I am sharing about the hymn Go Tell It on the Mountain. So, picture yourself in the worship center on a Sunday morning. The trees with lights are flanking the choir loft, garland is hung around the balcony, the Advent wreath is out front. You stand for a hymn, you look up to the screens at the front to read the words, and you start to sing. What's going on in your mind? If I'm being really honest, sometimes for me, if I haven't had a lot of coffee, there may not be much going on in there at all. Or if it's a song that I know really well, it can be easy to sing the words without really thinking about them. Unfortunately, I'm pretty quick to become distracted. But I always love seeing Go Tell It on the Mountain in the bulletin of a service because I love a happy, upbeat song. And this song is so joyful. It really is a celebration. And because of that, this one feels really unnatural to sing standing still with a solemn face. It's hard for me, no matter what my headspace is at the beginning, or what the morning has been like, or how much coffee I've had, to not be happy and swaying by the end. The tempo and melody are just happy, and I don't think that's an accident. But what about the words? What does it mean to go tell it on the mountain? What would it look like to really share it over the hills and everywhere, the story of Christ's birth, and to proclaim to the world that Jesus came to earth as a baby? You've already pictured yourself in a Sunday morning service. Now picture yourself on top of a mountain. You can see for miles. Noise is to a minimum. You're seeing a wide perspective. Maybe you were able to drive right up, but maybe you had to hike for a ways to be able to reap the reward of the view. What would it feel like to proclaim the good news of Christ on your mountain? If I told you to tell it on the mountain, what would you do? How would you tell it? What would you say? Would you whisper? I don't think that's what the song means. Would you tell it at the volume I'm speaking now? If you really wanted to tell it over the hills and everywhere, would you shout? Would you be afraid somebody would hear you and think you're crazy? Or would you proclaim it intentionally, loudly, and joyfully? My hope is that this Christmas season, that I would be unashamed and joyful to tell the news of Jesus. I think that's what's behind the spirit of telling it on the mountain. I think it's about erupting in genuine joy to share the news that Jesus was born. Now, one last time, imagine yourself somewhere else. But instead of church or on the mountain, think about where you are every day. That's sort of a mountain too, isn't it? What would it look like for you to tell it on that mountain? At work, at the grocery store, or at lunch with your friends, or in the drive-thru, or wherever you are. Mountains are everywhere. My hope is that we would all think closely about the words we sing this season and what they really mean. I hope we resist the distractions of shopping lists or accidental absent-mindedness or the contentment that comes with familiarity. And I hope that we do all go tell it on all of our different mountains. Not in a whisper or in insecurity, but in boldness and in celebration and in joy for the good news that it is. I'll leave you with Isaiah 52:7. How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your God reigns. Merry Christmas.